Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Roethlisberger's Steelers going up against Ryan's Falcons. Let's send you to Atlanta now, where Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis are on the call.
Larry, we are just off of Centennial Olympic Park Drive at the home of the Falcons since 1992. It's the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons. That's fielded in the end zone. And lined up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now following that play, we've got a man down defensively, one of the members of the secondary. And we'll just hope he's all right to continue. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. Robert Golden, the one who got him down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Come on now.
A tough spot here on their opening drive.
Oh, we all right.
On third down, Ryan surveying the field. He's going to rifle one deep left side. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that brings up fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. Finding Gabriel complete. 30. Touchdown, Falcons. Taylor Gabriel, 75 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter
Let's go.
What, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away.
Look at you, faggot. Quit trying to glitch me, motherfucker.
This will be taken very short. So out come the Falcons now. And they'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Out of the Wildcat, this is Freeman. Coleman, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Ryan, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
God damn.
That is going to be no good. He pushed it wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
They go play action here on 1st down. And caught right side, Green. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste. Gives him fuel for the next season, though, because remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
Here's a look at the young Atlanta Falcons, although next year, obviously, everyone will be a year older. So rookies like Deion Jones, Keanu Neal, Devondre Campbell, an extra year, well, their only year, but a year under their belt now to get better.
They're just young and growing, aren't they? I mean, I expect their play to continue to accelerate and elevate. And think about the building blocks they had in front of them. Second-year guys in 2016 were good years. Grady Jarrett, a monster in the Super Bowl, tied a sack record in that game against New England. And Vic Beasley led the NFL in sacks for the regular season with 15.5 and also had 6 fumbles.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. On the direct snap, Freeman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old. So he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is. And I still remember that he does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game.
Come on, Matt Ryan. You got to hold your block.
2017.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but all depends
Quit
on
trying
how
to make the fucking game glitch,
Is it a
faggot.
series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
That is caught inside the 5. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles, and really scatter some people, can't they?
It's Coleman here, and he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman taking it in, and the Falcons will extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense.
Figured he quit.
everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game. We've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Kaepernick's 49ers going up against Ryan's Falcons. With that, let's get you over to the Georgia. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. You are looking live at the Georgia Dome here in Atlanta. Today, we've got an NFC matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. First carry for Carlos Hyde. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work. Partner, I like Carlos Hyde coming out of Ohio State because I like the way that he would run inside and bodies would just scatter when he got through there. A very strong, aggressive runner inside.
Finished just shy of 1,000 with 988. If you're a back, how much does that hurt?
It hurts a lot, and then you want to talk to the official scorer at home and say, you couldn't find 12 more yards for me somewhere?
Kaepernick now on first down. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you're a little bit more precise throwing it, you don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Charles, I don't know about Torrey Smith because he obviously has a lot of talent, but I don't know that San Fran has seen the production out of him the last couple of years they had hoped for.
Well, they haven't. And you know, just look at the raw numbers. What do you have, 53 catches in the last 2 years?
Total.
Has not been the deep threat that they expected and what he performed like in Baltimore. So what they've got to do is look at themselves, too. Quarterbacking, that's an issue for them. You know, the offensive line, so people have time to throw the deep ball and get some other receivers around him, take some of the pressure off. Because when used properly, Torrey Smith can still be a big-time player in this league. When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
He was looking there for Bruce Ellington, and that'll make it third down. The starting 11 on your screen now, the one we discuss is Torrey Smith.
You would do worse than to just call long pass plays and throw it to Torrey Smith. He can certainly take the top off of any defense.
On third and long, it's Kaepernick. And this is going to be incomplete.
Man, punt the ball, bruh. You fucking retarded.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. Kaepernick to throw for it on fourth. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Yeah, lucky.
Well,
Lucky, the game said it best.
So we're changing the analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them. And really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance. And here we go. We get to see the Falcons again on offense, a crew that last year scored 540 points, tied for 8th most all-time. But my question is this, such a crushing Super Bowl loss in the offseason, does that set you back big-time, or does that fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward?
It should fuel and feed you momentum-wise going forward, partner. That's exactly how it's supposed to react, and that's what you'll see in the Falcons' locker room in the entire offseason. They'll talk about finishing, unfinished business, things of that nature. But we have seen where teams have not recovered from it. Remember the Rams? They got to a Super Bowl, got beat by the Patriots, didn't get back there again. The Broncos in 2013, #1 offense, #1 scoring offense. They didn't get back in 2014, but they did in 2015, so you can recover from it.
That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker.
Mac Daddy Dave.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Defense showing blitz. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Aaron Lynch coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. So this is not the QB here. They're going to do a direct snap out of the Wildcat. This is Coleman. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. And for Coleman, if you combine the rushing and receiving yards, close to 1,000 last year. He had 8 touchdowns as well. And it was just really a great 1-2 combo with Devontae Freeman.
An outstanding one. And just think, if he's on just about any other NFL team, he's probably the lead running back. And Devontae Freeman gets the bulk of the carries. But Coleman, when he does get his hands on the football, he really produces in a big way, speaking of the numbers you just gave.
A big play on third down for the Falcons. 40 yards on the ground. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Coleman now trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat.
The play clock's running down. Here's Coleman on the toss. And some space here. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman, 33 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Ellington has it. Mid-yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. Second down now after the pass completion. Shift together here from the D-line. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On second down, Hyde. Room here to run. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They come out here in the I. They run again with Hyde on first. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. From the gun on third down, Kaepernick. And that is incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up a fourth down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here we go on fourth down with Kaepernick. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, it was all about
sure that wants your boyfriend.
Ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days. Offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. They'll toss it to Coleman. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. They will run again with Coleman. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Coleman, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
They'll try and throw for it under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ray Armstrong. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down, it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. didn't happen also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
First carry now for Sean Drone. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
This is Drone on the give. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Hyde, the lone man in the backfield. Now they'll run it on the toss. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So 3rd down, and the Falcons going with a dime, 6 defensive backs. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Throwing now is Kaepernick. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just the first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Dawson's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the 2nd quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Come on, let's go!
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. This time Ryan will throw. Looking deep downfield. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the
Man, what was the
safety.
fucking pass interference
These guys
at?
have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
A final shot before half for Kaepernick. Going for the deep ball. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here now come the Falcons. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
That was a nice play by the defense, but the offense can't let that one play define them. Let it go, move on, and start over again.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's got Fuller. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now it's Ryan. He finds his target, Fuller. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They were full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down following the run. And again here, we'll see the Wildcat. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. So the first connection there, Ryan to Jones, and certainly a big reason they're losing on the scoreboard.
As they go as a connection, it appears so goes the team. And they need to be on the same page, in sync. And they really wish it could have been earlier in the game. Now they've got some ground to make up.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Ryan on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot. But there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you get the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. You get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
The defense won that play so fast, and I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it.
Ready, 25, 21. Got it.
They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. A little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline. It's kind of interesting. LA a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to LA. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
Now in Atlanta. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. Now Kaepernick throwing on 2nd down. This one complete, right side to McDonald. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Cap gives to the tailback high. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Kaepernick now on 3rd and goal. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. By Ellington. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. And with the play clock almost out, Chip Kelly's going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, down to about the 22 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it. And you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Another pistol look here. Now this is DeJuan Harris. And a short gain here down to the 22. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Chip Kelly, well, he's known for never shying away from taking a chance, and his guys are going here on 4th. Here's Drone on 4th down, and he will have the 1st before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
I'll tell you, he got a good spot on that one. It's 4th and 2, and he might have gotten 2 and an inch, but that's all he needed, and that'll keep the drive moving.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the cutback to the sideline. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quick.
And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They come out here in the I. They'll run with Davis. And he's going to fight his way. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense. A couple extra defensive backs are in there. Big play. 3rd and goal. This is Mostert. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. So a little icing on.
Finish things off exactly what you